Hello everyone, this is Suzanne Knabe-Nicole from Police Science Doctor. As every Tuesday, I'm coming to you with a broadcast about 3 research snippets in the fields of policing, criminology, investigative psychology that I think might be relevant to the law enforcement community around the world. I'm still not at my own place. I'm still staying with family in Poland. You may hear a lot of background noise. There's small children around, so apologies for that. Hopefully I'll be in a more familiar setting and set up next week. But anyway, anyone who's on the Police Science Doctor email list will have received the email with the Police Science snippets within it, with the links to the original research. And everybody on the list also has access to each of the previous Police Science snippets. So this is week 87. I've been doing this for 87 weeks now, 3 snippets every week. So you can actually build yourself a library by downloading all the PDFs of the snippets with the topics that you're interested in. So the first snippet that I sent out for this week was about facial recognition by social group. And the study found that individuals are better at recognizing faces from their own social group than those from other social groups. So I think when they're saying social group, they sort of mean racial background. Personally, I don't like the term racial, but that's probably what they mean. So they're also able to detect the presence of a face earlier if it is from within their social group. So for example, I, as a Caucasian person, might be better at recognizing and differentiating between the faces of other Caucasian people than perhaps compared to if I were trying to recognize and differentiate people from Southeast Asia or from Africa, whereas somebody from a social group of African American heritage, Black background might be a lot more attuned and sensitized to facial differences in that social group, and they might be able to better recognize this and faces from that group. And the study also found that even in the very early stages of facial recognition, just recognizing that there is a face there, in fact, because we've got a specific center in our brain that deals with facial recognition compared to recognizing other objects. So we even detect the presence of a face earlier if it's from our own social group. So this is relevant for witness statements and ID parades. So I wouldn't say that you can categorically say, okay, well, if this witness is from the same social or ethnic group as the person that is supposed to be recognized, maybe they're more reliable than another witness who's not from that group. It's probably not as simple as that, but it's just something that you need to bear in mind, that we do actually the way that the way we grow up, the way the people we see around us, how what we see in our own faces when we look back in the mirror does impact our ability to recognize people from same social group and different social group differently. So this might be very relevant for ID witness statements, the investigation process. The second snippet is about online child sexual abuse in families. Now, it was found that around 42% of child sexual abuse footage production, so this is for distribution over the internet, is perpetrated by the biological father, stepfather, or adoptive father of the victim. Okay, that's 42%. That's a really, really high percentage. And in general, around half of the perpetration is done by another family member. So either the father or other family members, brothers, uncles, for example, grandfathers. So really, really high percentage. So if you're able to identify the victim from the footage, it's very likely that the perpetrator is a male relative. And the third one is about preventing access to illegal porn sites. So what they did is in that study, they created a fake porn site with the promise of providing free access to porn. People just had to upload a sexual image of a female. And before they were actually taken to that fake website, there were three conditions or 3 categories. So every person was assigned to either of those 3 categories. Group 1 were just taken, they were given access to, or almost access, they were able to almost get to the website. Nothing else came up. Group 2, they were shown a message saying that if you upload images, well, actually, let me read it rather than try and explain it. So that's group 1. 60% of users tried to access a website supposedly offering free access to pornography, that's group 2, compared to 43%, so that's less than the 60% from group 1, who saw a message pop up that said that sharing sexual images of people who appear under 18 years old is illegal. And then, so the first group was not shown a message, the second group was shown a message. The third group was shown that message, but also there was an animation, that was shown along with that message. I don't know what that animation was, but that dropped from 43% to 38%. So if you have a warning message, and if you show an animation with that warning message, rather than 60% of people actually trying to access the website, it's dropped down to 38%. Yes, so that was the 3 science snippets for today. So I hope there was something of use for you in there. And don't forget, you can download all the previous snippets, all on very different topics, and find what is relevant to you, download it, and then go to the original article. Obviously, I can't guarantee that you'll be able to access the article. That depends on publishers. Some of them are open access, and others you will need some kind of subscription to. Perhaps your police force, university, or whomever you work for might have a subscription, but I can at least give you, show you the way to where the article is. So all the best to you, and I'll see you again next week. Bye-bye. Thank you for watching. I hope you found this content useful. You can get access to each episode's transcript with key learning points, timestamps, and references if you get yourself onto my mailing list. Just go to the main website on policesciencedoctor.com, and on the bottom of each page you will find a sign-up form for notifications of new content. Just enter your first name, your preferred email address, and the type of organization you work for. You will not get any spam. This is just for me to let you know about new content and for you to get access to all the transcripts.